Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Jasper from CommonSenseTV on the Whistle Stop Cafe in Middelburg, and I'm not in Middelburg, I'm in Holland, in the city of Utrecht, and Dutch elections are coming up, and all the political parties are presenting their voting list. And today, Bvnl, for the interest of the Netherlands, to translate, at this list presented today.
Experience on CommonSenseTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Jasper and you're watching CommonSenseTV on the Whistle Stop Cafe in Middelburg. And I'm not in Middelburg, I'm in Utrecht, the city center of Holland. And next to me is standing Wybren van Haga from Bvnl for the interest of the Netherlands, party leader. And as you know, the cabinet of Grote 4 has collapsed and elections coming early. Wybren, thank you for talking to this. The elections are coming up. Today you presented a new voting list. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, well, the 22nd of November, there are elections in the Netherlands. Probably the most extravagant and the most undecided elections in my life. And there's really something at stake because we've got a totalitarian state that is trying to control us, and we've got a magnificent list of 50 freedom fighters. We've got Henk Krol, number 2, Sita van Kempema, number 3, member of the, a board member of the Farmers Defence Force.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm standing here with a new member of the Bvnl for the interest of the Netherlands. And I've got a lot of questions from you, Albertans. How is the farmers' interest in politics? Well, next to me is standing Sita. And Sita is a farmer. And at least she has a lot of interest in it, and you know a lot of farmers. You're also a member of the Farmers Defence Force, yeah. And you joined Bvnl on the elections coming up.
Yes.
Can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, well, I have been a dairy farmer for years, but a few years ago our cows have left. Mm-hmm. So now I'm completely an interest organization for farmers. Mm-hmm. And yes, Bvnl, so the interest of the Netherlands, because they have the standing points that we think are very important, also for farmers, but also for the individual entrepreneurs who have their own businesses, who are not represented at all. We don't have a liberal party anymore. What we have seen now is that the former liberal party has become woke, together with the Democrats. The Democrats also are just woke. And so as an entrepreneur, you don't have any choice anymore.
And they're all people who've got their own trades, all entrepreneurs, all people who've fought for their freedom in the Corona episode. And I'm really happy.
And next to me is standing
Hans van Tellingen.
And Hans is part of Bvnl for the interest of the Netherlands.
I'm the number 10 on the list for the candidates of the parliament for the next elections. That's correct.
So the Rutte's parliament has collapsed for the third time, Rutte number 4. And the elections instead of 2025 is coming in November the 22nd. So that's why you're joining the elections.
Yes, because from day one in March 2020 I was critical about corona measures, mm-hmm. the lockdown measures, and I became a good mate of Wybren van Haga, our party leader. He was also the sole parliamentary member that was from the start against all the COVID lockdown measures, the MPIs. And yeah, we became friends, and yeah, in normal life I'm a consumer research, I own a consumer research data agency.
Okay.
And I know everything about shopping, about retail, about catering brands, etc. And yeah, we interview actually the real customers, the real clients in the streets, in the shopping malls, etc. I write books about that, and they also call me Mr. Brick and Mortar Store in the Netherlands, because I really believe in the real stores and of course real catering and real events. And yeah, that's also part of the fact that I was from day one against all those city lockdown measures.
The team that you assemble is widespread and has knowledge, and I think that's a lack that we had in Dutch politics.
Yes, of course. We've got a sort of a tradition of putting total incompetence in functions like ministers or secretaries of state, and we're going to put an end to that. We've got people who actually can do something, who are educated, who've got experience in the field. Well, like the farmers. I mean, why wouldn't we put a farmer up as a minister of agriculture? Why wouldn't we put a retired general as up as the minister of defense? Why not? But
it's a smart choice to do that because they've got interest and know and the field of experience and expertise. So well done. I think that's really good.
Yes, and I think it's a unique day today. We've presented the list. We have not seen very many journalists, so thank you for coming.
You're welcome.
Because the mainstream media, of course, is ignoring what is happening, but this is the start of a freedom fight that is unprecedented.
What I understand, because I'm following the mainstream media as well, it's only the leftist, globalist, woke agenda. The climate probe from the European Union has brought back to Green Left and the Labour Party, and they're massive on the mainstream media. So, and I think it's what you have done for the country as well on your talking points. I think it's necessary to give you a voice. So that's why I'm here today.
Well, thank you very much. For sure, we will not appear on the 8 o'clock news. I sometimes watch the 8 o'clock news to know what the mainstream media is trying to indoctrinate us with. But in the end of the day, the revolution starts here, and it's not a violent revolution. It's a soft revolution, and we will try to get as many seats in Parliament as possible with competent people who actually have jobs, who actually have lives, have children, and they want to decide on their own lives. And that is what classical liberalism is. And we've got a strong right-wing economical agenda, and we will fight for every inch, tooth and nail.
So what are you saying? What are you saying then? Is it necessary that you joining politics because the voice is in there, or how do I understand that?
What we have is a very left-centered cabinet and also very left-centered parties in the parliament. They all address the agricultural sector as a danger to nature, to climate, to health. And it is the opposite. The only thing they're doing is really telling rubbish. And maybe you have one voice today in the parliament who is really knowing what to talk about. And I think that an extra voice for the farmers is very important.
Working together is one of the things that if you're working together, you're reaching more. So I think that aim is really perfect, and the voice in Parliament is really necessary. A lot of Holland is known for growing stuff, cattle, and as well as entrepreneur, but also as a citizen. So to be responsible in politics and having a voice over there and working together, I think that aim is really perfect.
Yes, it does. And what we see today is that is really no practice knowledge of farming. They are talking about farmers and farming in a way that I think, are you crazy? Because what they are saying is really going to ruin a lot of our food production. But food production is what we need to feed ourselves on. I can live every day without politics, but never one day without farmers.
Wow. So what is your aim in politics? What are you standing for? And I understand you're on Bvnl. On what position are you?
I'm the number 3, and I'm aiming at least one seat for agriculture, for the entrepreneurs, for all the people who have to earn their own money by working very hard with their feet in the clay. And we are not the left-centered theoretical people who think that growing food is something that you can easily do, and otherwise grow in factories, because what we produce is really natural and what they produce is mostly a lot of rubbish.
Correct. And we're support. And when I was in Canada, I spoke to a lot of farmers over there, and they said, well, we need to work together. We need to have a voice, and binding voices together and letting us heard is really perfect. So I wish you all the luck with the Dutch elections coming up, and I hope you will be able to kick some ass in the politics.
I hope so too, and I will do my best.
Perfect. Well, thank you for this talk, Sita, and have a great day.
Thank you.
Perfect. Chris Scott from the Whistle Stop Cafe went to the Netherlands, spoke to you in Den Haag. Yes. He was arrested, and last week the court case came in, and he's been spoken free of all the charges. So what do you want to say to Chris? What's your thought about that?
Well, it's fantastic, but he's not the only one. There are thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people who were crushed in the Corona scandal, where the totalitarian state tried to dominate us. And he was one of the freedom fighters, and I'm very happy that we're still apparently living in a system where he got justice.
Yeah.
Yes, it was right. And slowly but gradually people are getting aware of the fact that what's happening in the Corona scandal was monstrosity, was horrible, and it continues. Climate is exactly the same sort of religious psychosis. The whole idea about nitrogen in the Netherlands, it's all religion, and it's forced upon us by a government that wants to put fear into us, wants to control us. And I think Chris is a front runner, and it's good that he was acquitted. It's good that he's free now, that all the that everything's off the table.
So instead of ordering stuff online, you're saying go to the shopping mall, go to the store, spend your money there, have a great time.
Yes, of course, because if people are together, they have a great time. That's the first thing. For the rest, e-commerce. There is no e-commerce company that actually can have a durable profit. It doesn't exist almost. If you really want to make a profit, really start a brick and mortar store. Of course, not automatically you will get a profit. You really have to do your utter best to make some profit, but it's possible. But e-commerce is not possible. No. It's based on investment funds that put a lot of money on it. Then they sell the stocks, the shares to another investment company. It's like a Ponzi scheme. It's like a pyramid scheme. No.
So it's basically unsustainable, the things that's going online. So, but what you were saying is about a store with a web shop is possible. How do you think of that?
Of course, I'm not against online. For the rest, I'm very active on social media, because that's why you also know me, I guess. So yeah, I'm addicted to internet. I'm addicted to online. However, retail business only based on e-commerce is not feasible. On the other hand, if you have a good brick and mortar store, it's very good to have a very proper website. It's also very good to order online, but then I say buy online, pick up in store. If you pick it up in store, you will get a long receipt, because people, when they pick up their product, well, if it's not good, you can exchange it very easily without all the hassle. But on the other hand, if people are in the store, you get a long receipt. People buy actually more than they were planning to buy, and that's the power of the real store.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what are you, because you're also in politics now? So, what are you hoping for that the interest of the Netherlands is going for? So, what's your aim?
Well, my aim, of course, is to become a parliamentary member with Bvnl, because we are the only party in the Netherlands with a classic liberal point of view. We really love entrepreneurship. We really love freedom. We don't hate government, but the government should be as small as possible, because it shouldn't be in a way. And we have seen it very clearly the last 3.5 years because of all the COVID measures, but already for the last 20-25 years you see the government growing. Yeah. And I still remember my youth in the 70s, end of 70s, 80s and 90s. I lived in a lot of freedom. I'm a father now, I have a 21-year-old daughter, and I see that she doesn't have the amount of freedom that I have. She can't express herself completely in what she's trying to say. She has to withhold herself because she's having an academic career at the moment, but she can't always say what she really thinks, and that is very dangerous. We should all be ourselves. We should respect each other. Respect each other's opinions, and in the present situation that's almost impossible.
Well, good on you, and that's what I think as well. So have the freedom of your own expression, have the freedom of your own money, and live your life. And that's what I always. I'm saying the same thing. What I enjoyed is my freedom. I hope, especially for the young and the child, that they're having the same thing. So I think it's a good fight.
Yes, actually, and it's the fight. Yeah. Freedom of entrepreneurship, freedom of acting. For me, it doesn't matter if you have a certain skin color, if you have a certain religion, or when you have a certain sexual orientation. It doesn't matter at all. We should embrace diversity, but you shouldn't focus on identity. Just be yourself. That's actually my solution to everything, and freedom of expression. Of course.
So Hans, what do you want to say to the Canadians and Albertans? What's your thought, and what do you want to say to them?
Stay yourself. Trudeau will leave eventually, and just do the proper entrepreneurship. Just do what you really like to do. Just do what is needed to earn money. Just do what is needed in the catering business, for instance, or in retail. That you provide the opportunity that people can meet, actually physically meet in the public space. That is our future.
Well, thank you for this. You're a big star, Dutch star on Twitter, X nowadays.
Yes.
So how that came about?
Well, 3.5 years ago I had 3,000 followers, and I was tweeting about retail, real estate, my core business, and occasionally sometimes a political tweet. Then the lockdown started from the 15th or 16th of March of 2020. I started to be critical, but always in a relatively moderate tone of voice, always rational, always sustained, is it really correct what I'm saying? And never attack the person, but be very sharp and critical on the content. And that's how it started. And now it's almost 100,000 followers, or 84,000. But in this space, in a couple of months, it will be 100,000. And there's no plan, there's nothing behind it. I just say what I want to say, and people like it. Most people, not everybody, because we all know the trolls. We all know the trolls.
Yeah, they're always there, but who cares?
Yeah.
Well, thank Hans. I wish you good luck with all the elections upcoming in November, and go and continue what you're doing. Thank you for this.
Thank you very much, and cheers.
There's a lot of people out there who don't have a clue who to vote for. I think we've shown that we have a straight backbone, that we know what is the difference between right and wrong, and I would say vote for us, vote Bvnl, vote for the interest of the Netherlands.
Virus Video Waardeert has retained some sort of a Freedom of Information Act, WOO, and it says, if we're going back to our platform, CommonSenseTV, in 2020 our YouTube page has been deleted from YouTube. We had hours. Okay. We had over almost 32,000 subscribers. Yes. The weird thing in that document state is that YouTube informed the Dutch government of deleting our page because we're anti-government, it says in the papers, and we're anti-mainstream media. Yes. So I think it's really weird that the government, that a company like YouTube needs to say that to the Dutch government, and after that our website has deleted. Yeah. And I'm really grateful for Willem Engel and Vervroegde that they're doing this, and they're showing us what the government, because we're independent journalists and we think it's necessary. But the hassle that we're getting from the government is massive. Yourself did some court cases as well.
I took them to court, yes. Yeah. I got thrown off of YouTube. I believe it was LinkedIn as well. So we took both of them to court, and the judge decided that we had to be reinstated, and we got our accounts back. But thousands of people who were maybe a little bit less high profile, they lost their accounts. Yeah. And it wasn't YouTube or LinkedIn. No, it was the Dutch government, and they had direct control over these accounts. They were instigating the deletion of all these accounts. And this is 1984. This is Orwellian, dystopian horror. It's horrible. And we should fight it. And we did. And we took them to court. And it's good that the judges in the Netherlands, in some of these cases, said, well, this is really not on. We are a free country. We're a democracy. We're a state where you can take somebody to court, also the government. Mm-hmm. And I really hope that we can still do this in 5 years, but it all depends on these elections on
Correct.
The 22nd of November, because if the left wing wins, then we will enter a collective phase where we have a sort of neo-Marxist revolution, and I think the only thing we can do is emigrate.
I wish you all the luck with the Dutch elections coming up, and I hope that you will have a really good. The people that you have selected for your political party are. I believe they're.
You approve?
I do. Wybren van Haga, thank you for this.
Well, thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jasper from CommonSenseTV on the Whistle Stop Cafe. See you soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. My name is Jasper from CommonSenseTV on the Whistle Stop Cafe account, and next to me is a climate scientist, Marcel Crox. He's the owner, CEO of...
Yeah, director of Clintel Foundation.
Okay. Yeah. What is the foundation about?
So I used to be a science journalist, science writer, and I specialized in global warming, so in the climate change debate. So I wrote a lot about is it due to CO2 or is it solar or all these discussions. Mm-hmm. And then a couple of years ago, with a professor from the Technical University in Delft, we founded this foundation, Clintel Foundation. Yeah. But we do the same. We do research. We investigate the IPCC, for example. That's the UN panel on climate change, and they produce huge reports. Mm-hmm. And then we critically assess their assessment.
Thank you for watching. This is Jasper from CommonSenseTV on the Whistle Stop Cafe in Alberta.